How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to our journey over here in Elm Creek once again. So guys, yeah, there's been a couple of things happening already this morning, and as you can see, we are here over at David's place just to collect the Land Rover Range Rover, which we bought off of him. So yes guys, this thing is a non-runner, as we have seen in the last episode. So we've got it on our trailer with the help of the winch over here, which is actually amazing. That thing works like a charm. So we are going to be taking this thing over to Nick's workshop this morning, and just to drop it off so that he can have a look around it and just decide, well, he's basically going to check for us if it's going to cost us too much to fix. Hopefully it's not going to be too much of a problem. But if it turns out to be a little bit of a money pit, we might actually have to try and get rid of it as is. So I guess we're going to see how that's going to work out. So as you can see, we are also towing with the little case tractor because, yeah, this Range Rover is a little bit too heavy for our Chevy C60. So, yeah, I think things are going to work out, basically. So let's just take it nice and easy. And you may notice we've also, yeah, David doesn't have the Chevy C60 truck, the grain truck, here anymore. That is already back at our farm, guys, so I have been a bit busy this morning. I picked up both the vehicles now. So the Chevy C60 is back on our farm, and everything surprisingly works quite well on it. So I'm actually quite stoked that we managed to pick up both the vehicles for $20,000. I think I may have said, yeah, $25,000 in the previous episode, but yeah, it was actually $20,000. So we've got both of the vehicles in our possession, guys, and yeah, I've got a little bit of news about our silage. So yeah, I can't really see it now, but yeah, we don't have our silage on the, yeah, well, you can see it from this angle. Yeah, our silage is gone, so I actually have the guys from the biomass energy plant come and pick it up this morning, and they paid us a total of 24,000 for everything. Seeing as it was a little bit more than last time, and also the prices are not the greatest, but it's a little bit better than the last time we sold it, so we made a little bit more money, which brought us back to 37,000. So I still need to make the transfer over to David for the combine, so hopefully that's something we can also do today and go and fetch it one way or another. I'm doubtful we're going to be able to load the combine on the trailer over there, so I'm going to have to probably take a drive over there with the quad bike, or maybe even walk. I don't know. I'll decide what I want to do exactly. But yes, we must turn to Nick's place. Okay, so we'll just go around this way then. Yeah, luckily there's a couple of entrances that we can take in order to get over to Nick's. Just got to be mindful of traffic oncoming here, because this place is sometimes a little bit busy with traffic. Okay, looks like we are in the clear. Alrighty, but yes, here we are over at Nick's place, and yeah, well, okay, I don't see the man. He's probably inside the office again. Alright, we're just going to stop here and just see if we can get this thing probably unstrapped and offloaded somewhere. I don't know where Nick would want it. So, oh, look at this, this old Dodge. My goodness, yeah, that's a pretty nifty looking truck, guys. Wow. Yeah, I wonder if Nick finished the work on this thing, because it looks super clean. I don't know. Yeah, that is a pretty nice Dodge Ram. It's an older model, but it's definitely looks pretty nifty. Alright, let me see if I can find Nick. He's probably in the office here, guys, and we're going to try and see if we can get the Range Rover offloaded, and maybe Nick can have a look at it for us and see if he can get it fixed up. I actually brought it over straight from David, so I didn't even clean it up, but I don't think Nick would mind. He'll probably get that sorted out for us as well. But first things first, let's just see if he can get the actual engine up and running properly. I've got a feeling it's something small. So let's see what he has to say. And I'll bring you guys back once it's offloaded. Alrighty, and just like that, we dropped the Range Rover off. And Nick said he's going to have a look at it right away. So he's going to let us know how much it will cost to fix it up once he knows exactly what's wrong with it. So we are going to head back to the farm, guys, and we're going to drop off our trailer. And as you can see, we've yet again got ourselves another contracting job for today. So yeah, field in question is field 13. It's a harvesting job. We are going to be harvesting some sorghum and taking it over to the supermarket for them. It's quite a big field, and also the payment is going to be pretty decent. So I'm actually looking forward to doing that. It's going to take us probably a little bit of time to get the job done, but I'm pretty sure things will work out in the end for us. So now, yeah, I'm still wondering about the combine, whether we should go and pick it up first or go and do the harvesting job. I think maybe we can go and pick up the combine a little bit later, because David kept his word. He's hanging on to it for us, and I actually told him that I want to come and pick it up a little bit later on. So yeah, we're gonna see if we can manage that as well today and get our combine back at the farm. So now there's another thing that I was kind of, thinking about, and that is, where are we going to park the combine on our farm? Because we don't have any space in any of our sheds, and everything is pretty much jam-packed into the tiny little sheds that we have. So yeah, I was kind of strategizing a little bit, and I came up with the idea that I'm gonna see if we can get ourselves a nice big, maybe like a carport built over here next to our chicken coop, basically right over here, maybe facing the street side, and we will have a little bit of a driveway built maybe that runs there past the chicken coop on that side, where we can access the barn from then, or not really the barn, but the carport. And I'm gonna try and see if we can get a nice big one built, so that they can actually take more than our combine and some other equipment as well. So we're gonna see how that's gonna work out, guys. But alright, here we are back at the farm, and now I'm going to see if I can back my trailer back up into its spot over there next to the cedar. Alrighty, let's just see if I can manage this without fishtailing the thing too badly here. There we go. Alright, that works. Yeah, I'm getting quite good at this, but I think using the tractor is a little bit better, because you can actually see a whole lot more around you. Alright, let's just unplug that over there and get it disconnected. Alright, pretty nifty. Right, now I'm just going to park the old tractor again. I should actually give this a bit of a wash, along with the Chevy C60 over there, so that we can see exactly what that thing is all about as well. Alright, so there we go, guys. We're just going to leave the tractor here for a minute before I park it in its space. I think the pressure washer should reach both the vehicles here, so gonna see if we can clean up the old Chevy C60 over here. This thing is quite a bit filthy, and just get a bit of an idea of what the thing looks like. It actually doesn't look terrible. Definitely not too bad. I think this thing may have been repainted not too long ago, but it's probably gonna fade quite fast if we don't put this thing in a shed. So yeah, that is kind of why I want to have another shed built pretty soon, but I think that is good enough. It's looking a little bit better, and we'll also just rinse the tractor down and get this thing parked. Alright, yeah, that looks a little bit better already. I think we are doing a pretty good job. Alright, perfect. Let's put that back over there. And now let's just move this thing back to its regular parking spot. Alrighty, so now, guys, I think we are good to park the tractor here. It's just a little bit better for it to stay out of the sun. And we kind of got the Chevy C60 under the carport, well, under the tree over there next to the carport. So hopefully that'll block some of the sun as it beats down on the vehicle today. Alrighty, so guys, I think what we're going to do for today, we're going to head over to the harvesting job first and go and take care of that. I should have actually washed the C30 as well, but you know what, it's fine. We'll just use it for today, and then we'll clean it up a little bit later on. So let's head over to this field, number 13. It's quite a bit of a drive. They told me that the equipment is already next to the field, so we are good to go. We've got everything we need over there. Okay, and our driveway is still working quite well. Alright, so let's see if we can make our way over to this field, guys, and I'll bring you back up to speed once we get there. Alright, so turns out it was just down the road from us. I actually thought it was another, street up that way, but okay, we are here. And I think we're just going to park the old C30 right here in this little parking spot over here. Not really a parking spot, it's more like a driveway into the field. Alright, so let's get ourselves familiarized with the equipment. So we have got what appears to be a New Holland CR 11. Once again, it's quite a big combine. I think, didn't we use this combine before? I think we did when we harvested some barley, and I see there's a truck all the way over there with a grain header and everything there. So I think it might be for the same farmer. I don't know, I can't really recall what exactly we used in the past, but okay. So apparently this is quite a big field, guys. It's going to take us probably a hot minute to take care of this, so let's hop into here. Alright, so yeah, this is a nice big fancy combine, if I do have to say so myself. Okay. Alright, so I think we seem to be more or less hooked up. Let's just see if we hit the button for this thing to unfold. Yeah, it's definitely doing some stuff back there. We've got some stuff moving about. Alright, let's see if it turns on. Which it does, that's great. And we can also lower it down. Alright, okay, there we go. Yeah, we are moving. Okay. We just gotta maybe position it a little bit better for that corner over here. But I don't want to go too far out of the field, because we might end up hitting our Chevy C60 over there, but I think we are good. Alright, well, I think it'll be a little bit better if we send a drone out, because then maybe I can see a little bit better what I'm doing here. It's quite a little bit of an awkward, position sitting here trying to see what exactly I'm doing, but yeah, I think we'll figure this out, guys. So I think for now we are going to get the drone in the sky, and you guys can once again just sit back, relax, and enjoy some harvesting action.
In a small town down a dirt road where the sun caresses the sky, you'll find farmers from all walks of life, sharing dreams that never die. Whether their pockets jingle or are bare, they plow the fields they cherish. Their hands the same, their hearts in tune, with a harvest that won't perish. Rich man's grain or poor man's corn, a masterpiece in every dawn. The sun may set, but hearts remain bound together in a farmer's name. In the morning mist, they rise as one beneath the sprawling sky. With calloused hands and hopeful hearts, they watch the seasons fly. Rich man's grain or poor man's corn, a masterpiece in every dawn. The sun may set, but hearts remain bound together in a farmer's name. Some have fields that never end, some patch a plot of ground. Yet when harvest time rolls around, they share the same sweet sound. Rich man's grain or poor man's corn, a masterpiece in every dawn. The sun may set, but hearts remain bound together in a farmer's name. Bound together in a farmer's name. Some have fields never end. Some patch, a plot of ground. Yet when harvest time rolls around, they share the same sweet sound. The sunrise breaking through the pines, radios humming, hearts aligned. Truck bed loaded, bags all packed, nothing but the open road, never looking back. Faded jeans and worn out boots, highway sings its joyful roots. Wind in our hair, smile so wide, with every mile we taste the ride. Wheels on the gravel, stories unfold. Every town we pass, worth its weight in gold. Tunes on the radio, spirits are high, chasing that horizon under the big sky. Old diner stops, coffee's hot. Simple joys, they're all we've got. Hometown stars in the night so dark, love in our hearts, lighting up a spark. Endless signs and winding roads, life's a journey God only knows. Tunes and dreams steer our course, strong as the engine, powered by the force. Wheels on the gravel, stories unfold. Every town we pass, worth its weight in gold. Tunes on the radio, spirits are high, chasing that horizon under the big sky. Wheels on the gravel, stories unfold. Every town we pass, worth its weight in gold. Tunes on the radio, spirits are high, chasing that horizon under the big sky.
Alright guys, so here we are. This is our first full trailer load of sorghum that we harvested off the field. It's still got quite a bit of harvesting to go on this field, guys. I didn't expect this field to be as big, but you know what, it is worth it in the end, because we are going to be earning quite a decent amount of money for all of this work we are doing today, which is going to be very welcome. And there's no train coming, so let's quickly get over the crossing over there. Alright, well, so we are heading to the supermarket around the back of the place. We are going to go and drop off all of the sorghum. So I'm pretty sure Roger will be there and he's going to tell us where exactly to dump it. So I guess we're just going to make our way over there and see what this is going to entail, getting everything offloaded. So these are those what they call triple hoppers. So it's kind of you load it at the top and it dumps it straight around the bottom. So luckily this thing is going to have to, it's not going to have to tip anyway, so we should be good. It's just going to be a matter of getting it over the pit where we need to dump it, making sure we do it properly. Alright, let's just take this turn nice and wide into the supermarket here. Alright, well, I think we're going to go straight around the back. And if I'm not mistaken, we may have dropped off here in the past, so it's probably going to be around the back here. I could only imagine that this would be the, this would be the drop-off point for the sorghum right over there, which these cars over here are kind of parked very weirdly, but okay, we'll see if we can manage this nonetheless. I just gotta try and straighten out the trailer a bit, and then Yeah, yeah, it's a little bit of a tricky one. Alright, well, let's just hop out for a second and see what we're going to do about this. Yeah, you see what I mean? This is like a very awkward position to come with a truck and trailer. I don't know if they ever anticipated for this. But okay, we're going to see if we can get this sorted, guys. And see how much of the grain we managed to harvest so far. They're going to give us an estimate of how many liters we need to bring over. So let's do this, and then we're going to head back to the field, guys, and go and sort out the rest of this contract. Alrighty, so there we go. We managed to drop off all of the sorghum that was in the trailer, guys. So now we need to head back to the field to go and finish up what we started here. And yeah, this is actually quite a big contracting job, guys. I think this is probably the biggest one we have tackled so far over here in Elm Creek. But you know what, it is definitely worth it, and I think once we are done, we are going to definitely reap the rewards, as they say. Alright, well, let's get back to the field, and I think this time round when we get there, I'm gonna pull the truck onto the field, take it a little bit closer to where we are gonna be unloading the harvester again. Just see if we can make our lives a little bit easier for ourselves. Alright, gotta take these turns nice and wide with this extremely long trailer. There we go, that should do the trick. Alright, well, it's luckily not too far. It's just literally down the road from our farm. And I'm still hoping that David will be able to help us out later today to get the combine and everything sorted. I believe it should be fine. Yeah, I see he's still standing there. Alright, but here we are back on the field, and let's just, well, get onto the field, obviously. Alright, so we still got quite a bit of harvesting to do, so it's gonna probably still take me another trip. Because I think they said we dropped off about 54% of the sorghum that they are hoping to get off the field. So, yeah, I think if we park it here, it's a little bit closer than what it was before, and now we can just continue harvesting from here. I think we still got a little bit of sorghum at the end of this line, and then we're going to pretty much go up and down and see how long this is going to take. So let me get back to the combine. We still got a little bit of sorghum in there as well, but I think we're just going to go ahead and fill it up again and then see if we can get it all sorted. I see we did miss a little bit of patches here and there. I don't really think it's going to be that much. It shouldn't affect the yield too badly. Alright, but yes, I'm going to jump into this thing again, guys. I'm going to get it fired up, and then we're going to continue working. So I guess we are going to go back into the time lapse once again and just see if we can knock this job out of the park today. And hopefully it's not going to take us too long to sort out. But okay, let's jump in again, and we're just going to head over to where we stopped. Okay, let's maybe get this thing turned on, because I think we can probably catch some of these bits and bobs while we make our way over there. Yeah, it's not really that much, but you know what? Yeah, while we are doing this, we might as well see if we can do a proper job. I see there's some more mist over here, and I think we can probably just continue this way as well. Alright, there we go. We're just catching these little bit of missed spots over here. I think there's more that side as well, but you know, it's not a big problem. Alright, let's get this thing lined up with this row over here, and then I'm going to send the drone out once again, guys, and then you can continue enjoying this next part of the time lapse. So here we go, let's do this.
Sunrise kissing the cornfield green. Tractors roar like a wild machine. Dirt road leads to a horizon fine. Milk the cows, harvest the vine. Country roads and farming loads. Drive through life where love explodes. Dirt on boots, tales to be told. Freedom feels 1,000-fold. beneath the sky. Johnny's truck and the fields nearby. Horses run the open plain. Hard days work, no room for pain. Country roads and farming loads. Drive through life where love explodes. Dirt on boots, tales to be told. Freedom feels 1,000-fold. Moon climbs high, the night's so clear. Fireflies dance and none too near. Barn doors creak, but hearts stay true. Work's complete, yet life feels new. Climb tree roads and farming loads. Drive through life where love explodes. Dirt on boots, tales to be told. Freedom feels 1,000-fold. Moon climbs high, the night's so clear. Fireflies dance and none too near. Barn doors creak, but hearts stay true. Work's complete, yet life feels new. Country roads and farming loads. Drive through life where love explodes. Dirt on boots, tales to be told. Freedom feels 1,000-fold.
Alright, so there we are. That is job done, guys. So it took us quite a hot minute to do this whole field, but we managed to get everything harvested and loaded into the truck here. So now the only thing that I need to do is go and drop off this last bit of sorghum. And yeah, well, I think that's a little bit of an understatement. It's quite a bit of sorghum still. So we're just going to go ahead and drop this off. And I know there are still some patches here and there that we missed. It's just sometimes a little bit hard to see everything, but I think we will still be able to get our yield that we are trying to get off the field. Alright, let's get back onto the road here and head over to the supermarket. I don't see any traffic that side. Okay, so let's just go into our own lane here. There we go. So it's going to be a matter of just pulling the truck over the dumping pit once again at the back of the supermarket and making sure we get all of the grain out of the trailer. And I'm also quite certain there might be a small payment that we're going to get for the extra yield that we may have gotten off the field, but we'll have to see once we drop all of this into their dumping pit for them and see if they are happy with the yield. So I guess let's go and find out and hear from Roger how we did. Alright, no traffic coming, we are good. Let's just get across the road here. Alright, we're gonna take this turn nice and wide into the supermarket again, because yeah, this thing is quite long, and this is definitely not the best vehicle to come to the supermarket with to drop off some grain, but you know what, it is what it is. We will still manage in the end. Don't know why they placed the damn thing like this, but I guess this was probably built before the supermarket was even constructed. So yeah, let me just get this thing lined up again, and I will just back it up. I'm just going to use the one mirror, see if I can get it over there. Can't really see much now, but okay. I think we are, yeah, we're definitely way off. Alright, well guys, let me try and figure this out again, backing the truck up to the pit over here, and we'll dump all of the grain and see what they say. Alrighty folks, that is quite a bit of a, you know, decent payment that we got off of that. So they paid us a total of 5,660 for the extra grain that we managed to yield off the field. which is very welcome at this stage. So that is definitely going to help fund our carport a little bit that we're planning to put up on our farm. And I might even have a little bit of extra money to see if I can find a little silo where we can start storing our own grain in, because we are going to be harvesting our wheat field pretty soon. Well, not pretty soon, but you know what I mean. Once it's ready to be harvested. Seeing as we are going to go ahead and pick up our combine now, which is going to be quite a bit of a, yeah, I don't know, rigmarole, but we'll see how we can figure this out. Because I'm going to have to take a drive over there with the, well, I think I can use the Chevy C60, come to think of it, because we've got it next to the field. And then I'll just leave the truck there, and then when we go back to fetch our our C30, we can go with the quad bike and just throw it on the back of the Chevy C30 and then bring that back to our farm once everything is transported over. So yeah, it's going to take me probably 2 trips to do, or 3 trips to do everything, the way that I think I'm going to do this now. Alright, so let's just bring the truck back over to the field here. And we're just going to park it close to our Chevy C30 here, that way we don't have to walk too far. Alrighty, I think that is good enough. Alright, let's just park it here. And yeah, there we go. All in a day's work, guys. We managed to get that sorted. So let's get back into our Chevy C30. I'm going to head straight over to David's. And I'm going to pay him the 30,000 that he's asking for the combine and all of the headers and such. And then we're going to drive the combine back to our farm. Now, I don't know exactly if I'm going to be able to drive it on the road. It's going to be a little bit of a risky one with traffic and all, but we're going to see if this is going to work out. Alright, it's still relatively early in the morning. So yeah, looks like this harvesting job didn't take us too long. We've got a train coming. Okay, well, we managed to get across before the train, or the booms closed actually. But okay, here we are over at David's place, and I think to make it a little bit easier for us to get the combine out, we're just going to park this side of the tree. Alright, so yeah, we should be able to get the combine out through there. Okay, yeah, that header isn't that big. Alright, well, let's just quickly pay David and then see if we can get the combine fired up and drive it back to our farm. Alright, so there we go. David has been paid, and it's actually just a matter of firing the combine up now and taking it back to our farm. So my plan is I'm going to have to go and detach the header over here somewhere in our yard. And then that way we can come back for the corn header over there. So, alright, well, there we are, guys. She fires right up, just as David promised. We're just going to go ahead and lift the header. Alright, well, let's take it nice and easy. I doubt that this thing is going to break any speed, you know, records or anything like that. But we're just going to have to take it nice and easy. Make sure we get this thing home safely. Yeah, just got to be extra mindful of everything. I may have almost ran into the Chevy C30 there, but I think it's fine. Alright, well, and now they've got this electricity pole running here, which we're going to have to dodge. Alright, hopefully no traffic is going to come while we get on the road here. Yeah, this is going to be risky, but okay. Let's see what we can do, guys. We're just going to take it nice and easy here and get this thing back to our farm. Yeah, I think we'll be fine. I just think that bridge is going to be a little bit too narrow, so I might have to take it around the field on this side. Yeah, let's maybe get off the road here. I don't want to drive onto my wheat field. Okay, let's just do it like this. Go around that pole over there, and then we'll come off the road here. Alright, now this is going to be the tricky part, is to try and see if I can navigate this thing without touching the field. It's going to be probably very close. And it's going to go into the bushes a little bit, but okay. I think we've got it. There we go, that was pretty easy. Alright, now where am I going to put this header? Alright, let's see. Maybe we can just drop it off here beside the log cabin. I think this way. There we go, that'll work. We'll just put it here behind the Chevy C60. Alright, let's lower it back down. Yeah, can't believe it. Everything is still working on this combine, guys. It's pretty dirty though. But we'll try and improve that a little bit later on. Alright, so the header has been dropped off and we are ready to head back to David's house just to go and pick up our corn header. And that way we can return with the combine. And then we will jump onto our little quad bike and just go and fetch the Chevy C30 by means of putting the quad on the back of the truck like that. Alright, yeah, let's just be mindful of our field here. We don't want to unnecessarily drive over the crop. I think I may have touched that corner there a little bit, yeah, looks like it, but that's fine. It's not a big train wreck, as they would say. Now luckily the corn header is a little bit smaller, so we can just go ahead and drive on the side over here. Don't have to go onto the road. Yeah, this is what she's got. I mean, foot to the floor, and it's really not that bad. I thought it was going to be a lot slower, but at least we are getting there. We are making good progress. Just got to mind all of the trees. All right, so here we are. Back again, and I'm just gonna have to line up with the corn header over there, which I'm not too sure if I'm ever gonna use it. We might, I don't know. We'll see, guys. I don't know exactly what we're gonna use this for. Maybe with sunflowers. We could actually maybe do sunflowers at a stage and then harvest it with the same header. I'm gonna have to try and center this thing exactly in the middle. See if that's gonna work. Right, I think this is close enough. Let's see if we can hook it up. Alright, well, it was a bit of a chore getting this thing hooked up, but we've got it, and let's just see if it lifts up now. Yeah, there it is. Okay, not too bad. And now it's gonna be a matter of getting out of here. Yeah, it sucks that we don't have mirrors on this thing. But okay, let's get this thing back to our farm as well, so that we can come back with our little quad bike. Alright, I think we should be golden to just drive on the grass here. Just gotta mind that tree. Yeah, the header isn't that wide, so we can definitely fit through here this time round. Yeah, you see there's a traffic car coming past there, so that would have been an issue for us, but luckily not. Alright, well, now I'm so stoked that we've got our own combine, and at least I know we are going to be getting some more money in from the big harvesting job that we just did, so that is going to be very welcome. And hopefully that money will be enough to fund our new carport that I want to put up, and also the silo that I want to try and see if we can get it maybe somewhere on the farm. So I'm definitely going to have to take a look around and see if we can find something, maybe second-hand, an old silo. And also need to decide where we're going to put it then. So yeah, there's quite a bit of space over there. We'll see. But alright, let's put the combine over here. Alright, and I think let's just lower the header down. And we'll turn it off. Okay. Well, there she is, guys, in all of her glory. We've got our combine back at the farm. And the grain header is also back there on the back of our log cabin, so that is pretty nifty. Alright, so now the only thing that I need to do is go and fetch my Chevy C30, and I'm not going to be able to take the ramps with me, so I'm going to try and see if I can muscle this thing onto there, and then we've got all of our equipment back at the farm again. So yeah, hopefully that's going to work out for us. So let's quickly make our way back to David's and just go and pick up the old C30. Alright, there we go. Right, I wonder how long this wheat field is still gonna take. I just want to give a quick check. Yeah, it's getting there, guys. It's gonna be not too long. We're gonna be able to maybe harvest this wheat field, and now at least we've got all of the equipment that we need to do it, so that we don't have to end up renting anything or, you know, borrowing something. So I think things are gonna definitely work out quite well for us. Alright, so here we are. And just gonna try and see if I can maybe pick this thing up and get it onto the truck here, guys. So let me put the camera down and see if I can manage this, and then we will head back to our farm with everything. Alright guys, so I managed to get the quad bike onto the C30, which is great, so that is working out pretty well. Alright, I just put a strap down on it. Luckily we don't have to go far, it's just a little bit up the road, and then all of our equipment will be on our farm. So yeah, this is pretty nifty how everything worked out today, guys. I'm actually so excited to actually try my combine out. So yeah, I don't really think there's anything else that I'm going to be able to show you guys really today. I'm going to try and see if I can clean up all of the equipment, but I'll just pretty much do that off camera and then see how things are going to work out. So yeah, here we are back at the farm, and our chickens are doing pretty well. They still seem to be quite happy. Alright, and we'll get this thing straight into the carport over here next to our cabin. There we are. Alright, perfect guys. So yeah, I think that is going to be where I leave today's episode. So thank you all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate all of your comments, guys. And also don't forget to give us that thumbs up if you enjoyed today's episode. And then guys, I will see you all in the next one. So cheerio for now.